Hello, and this is now our fourth stack for stack of today. Um, we are once again back on Yukon. Team 1 is being represented by the same team as last time: Chair, Heimars, Surzal, and Bongi. And Team 2, we have some new players: Lobster, Iris, Quiz, and Dudlard. And by new, I mean new to this rotation. They're very experienced. Yeah, so we're back on Yukon again. We'll see if ANS chooses to use a bunch of voxels like they did last game to secure the win, and I think they do. I see voxels here, I see a bunch of voxels here for the E-poke. This looks like Chair's fleet with the DD. Yeah, I think what's going to happen with ANS is they're going to do that DD voxel comp again, which probably will work out pretty well on this map. You have the voxels poking E, and then you have a DD coming out to deal with the anti-E-poke response. And it looks like the voxels also are parked over the side of the wall, so there might be a push onto D. So we'll see how that happens. Doing this though does leave C wide open, so we'll see if OSP doesn't seem to be going for a Z take. They are expecting the E-poke. Lots of assets going down here. There's also a bunch of assets in the bottom of the map, so this could be rotating for B. And yeah, just otherwise no noticeable crazy investment into any particular area. Honestly, it feels more like OSP is playing very defensive here, mainly making sure the E point is secured, whereas ANS is going to be burning for the E poke and possibly B point. All right, on the burn-in, is this Iris or is this Quiz? I think this is Quiz's 250 liners. Well, if this was Quiz's 250 liners, Quiz should notice that there was a triple flare up top left, so that should be immediately flagged as a triple voxel fleet. Alright. Yep, that's Quiz's fleet. Quiz playing liner half cap. Lobster playing 450 liners. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of liners here. Iris also playing 450 liners. What is Dud playing? Is this Squalling Sun? Oh man, this is a throwback fleet. Excellent. I want to see how that does. Surzal playing the same fleet he did before. Yep. Bongi, same fleet as they're all playing they're playing the same fleet. All right. They're just giving up A. Interesting. Okay. 6,000 points of voxels diving for D. That's really interesting. They need a surrender to follow this up. Otherwise, diving voxels directly onto the point is not a good idea. That means that ANS is relying very heavily on these beam DDs, basically holding up the entire deny strategy here, especially on the A point. One beam DD there, going for the bottom rock here, and then probably this beam DD. No, it's rising. I don't know where that one's going. This one's probably going for the C deny. Or C secure, I guess, in this case.
The enemy is securing zone box.
Meanwhile, Surzal bringing all 3,000 points of his assets for the E-poke. This is a lot of assets to commit to E-take. And most interestingly, there's no sprinter. So is Surzal going to be going for just the deny and then backing off? Or are they going to be shoving the voxels on? Hopefully it's just the first one, because shoving the voxels on is not good. They see it. Will they fire? Illuminators are on. Guns are tasked. Alright. Quiz is ready for E. Two shuttles on E, expecting the E-poke, so even if one dies, the other will finish the cap. Quiz is playing his Yukon fleet, and Quiz loves doing this with a Sun-Drive rocket shuttle burning for C. We'll get to C point before they even cap it, and likely deny it with the rockets. They don't have the angle. The DD is... Oof. They might. Oh man, this will be a pure reaction test to see if Heimars can kill Quiz before Quiz kills his shuttle. Shuttle is tracked. Rocket shuttle is tracked. Up. Here comes the rockets. And that is C denied. Excellent. Well done, my Quiz. Quiz will die for it though. If Heimars wakes up. There's the engine. New heading. Locking track and beam bearing to target. Alright. Quiz could kill this. And Quiz is just ignoring... Okay, this is a very smart move. Quiz conserving his momentum, burning directly for the beam DD. Doesn't stop on the C cap because he knows he's going to die if he stays it. And instead gets the DD kill. Does it? Oh my gosh, knocks out. That is huge. Wow. I don't want to say Quiz just probably won the game, but that is like... that is massive. Alright, meanwhile, Sop... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, one voxel dead from the Saw blob. Oh, Quiz has an MMTs too? We'll blap this spinner. Actually might rock it. No, he's gonna get it. But oh my gosh, this is gold right here. This game is gonna be over very quick. ANS is in a really tough spot right now. This is such an old fleet. Do they get it? The chaff picks up a lot of it. 2 hits? Not that much. Oh, knocking. Oh, on the main drives. That hurts. But yeah, Quiz, very well done. This shuttle made so much value. Denying the C point for this long and getting the beam DD is... This is crazy. Yeah, the beam DD lost his reaction. This thing can't fire. Meanwhile, did OSP get B? Or D? No, it did not. They will kill a shuttle though, but that's not worth the trade, especially when committing 6,000 points onto this side of the map. They need D really quick here. And OSP should realize that there are 6,000 points of voxels here and rotate away. Oh, rocket strike onto the beam DD, another one. Excellent. This is the danger of running these beam DDs, is that you're weak to rocket shuttles, so you need a very good sensor net to make sure you don't snuck off on like this. I think he dodges though, but loses the reactor. That is loses both reactors. Yeah, this thing's done. Oof. ANS needs to make something happen. They will get the decap. There's nothing here to deny it. That is good for ANS, but now 6,000 points of voxels need to do something. You kind of zoned... This position, this move is kind of just zoning them out from the map, right? They're not helping the C point, even though it's not being pressured. And to be honest, OSP might be also making a slight misplay here, is that they have way too many assets here. Look at it, look at it. They have like 12,000 points of assets in this side of the map. More rocket shuttles here. This is a very far shot, but I think Quiz knows that the shuttle doesn't have long to live. Very good dodge here, especially since it's using the main thrusters. You get a better excel that way. Yeah, this shuttle will die. MMT going out onto HIMARS. This has no countermeasures, will die to the MMT. Yep. Command... Oh no! Lost track. That's super unfortunate. Quiz thought that this tug was giving the track, but no, in reality it was this shuttle.
The enemy is securing Zone Atlas.
They're on reject. Yeah, these are on reject. Yeah, right now there's too many assets. OSP has such a huge advantage, but they need to capitalize on it right now. Oof. Diving a liner onto a... I guess they did damage a lot of the DDs here. I think they're feeling really confident. And, you know, they should. Quiz has killed 1.5 DDs already. A will flip, but that means that they need to get C back here, really. That play at the beginning of the game really like shook up all the assets defending this, so C is not very well entrenched. Meanwhile, this half DD is engaging Iris, but half a DD's worth of beam health is not a lot. And that was probably like 3 seconds of beam fire. And
The
it will
enemy
die again.
secured Zone
And with
Atlas.
no restores, once this beam is out, like it is now, this is out of the game. Alrighty. HIMARS has 1, 2 beam DDs left. This is a pretty good position. I like this, riding along the edge of the wall, especially when it's pushed up a lot. Because now when OSP assumes like defensive positions around the A cap, you could get some pretty good beam angles onto these spots. I think this rotation from OSP out of the E point is a little too slow. They should have immediately just left after the first voxel got absolutely blapped by all the saw, by all the gales. Meanwhile, ANS's voxels, I mean, I think this is the correct play in that they're not pushing forward. However, they need to defend what they have. D point is very weak right now. And now that Quiz has a liner going for it, they need a response. And look at Quiz is doing a very good job here. Okay, as I say that, he's slowing down. But what Quiz was hoping he was going to do is take the shuttle onto D point while the liner remains in this position to cover it. Alright, finishes off HIMARS's DD. This liner at A will be shot at by a lot of voxel here. There we go. 3 voxels will make very light work of this liner in about 4 to 5 minutes of fire. Yeah, I don't know why Bongi is here. Probably was hunting for that low liner, but now this liner is threatening D, and yeah, Bongi needs to get over here. Needs to support this DD. This DD alone won't be able to stop this. Oh! Wow, Chur really wants this liner dead. This liner will be very dead.
The enemy is securing Zone Dagger.
Oof. Oh, dead. It's gray. It's gone. Alright, well, that was all the missiles that Chur had. That means that Iris and Lobster still has 3 liners on this side of the map. Yeah, OSP needs to get on C. You have 4,000, 5,000 points of assets on this side. Alright, Quiz kills the spinner. DD is inching up along the rock. Is it in range? Yes, it is in range. Alright, so this is probably going to be a deadliner. Taking 250 fire. And then also about to eat beam. This will be a very good angle. Finally, OSP gets on C, and I think they will take it. Alright, here comes the beam. Take a look at the aim points. That's... Oh! Quiz stepped off D. Oof, that hurts. Ah, now he has to burn back onto it. Oh, that hurts so badly. This Max Citadel is going to eat this entire B main point here. So that'll be why he's not taking damage. And this beam is losing health very quick. You're not B-shorting. There you go. Into the drive section. That's much better. D gets flipped. But I think he's out. Yeah, beam's red. Alright, so that's not good for ANS. Now ANS has to throw a voxel on D to cap it. They will cap it. 3 voxels versus this liner will probably kill it. Will very easily kill it. But the problem is, you know, you're taking damage that you probably shouldn't have, and yeah, that does clean up the DD. Good crossfire here. Forgot these tugs have 250. But most importantly, Quiz can't stall this D point out for quite a while. Judging by looking at this cap right now and how early it is in the game, it's still very early in the game, and like half of ANS is dead. Quiz is almost out too, and Iris is down a liner. It's very funny. But I think Quiz doesn't deny this. I think Quiz just kind of goes ring around the rosy and just stalls for as much time as he can. All right. Oh, you don't need to do that. This thing's already dead. These are wake valved. Yeah. It's gone. Goodbye, DD. Good cap by Lobster. Doesn't manage to make it out in time as the shuttle dies. Iris, what are you doing with the shuttle? Why are you charging the voxels? C is already capped. You don't need to go. What? Okay, well, that's a misplay. Iris! I wouldn't say this one's a misplay. Engaging the voxels is a good idea, but getting beamed by two of Cyril's beam DDs here, they should have remembered where those were. At least Lobster remembered, and has 450 trained on him already. That's very good. The 450 will absolutely core this thing out. This thing, holy cow, this is a very slimmed down DD. Yeah, beam health going down. Reactor is red, which is why this is unpowered. And the beam at this range, you know, if that's red, I don't think the FPAs are online. Oh yeah, Chair is sacking one of her voxels onto the C cap. That is not a bad idea. You don't want to throw all of them on, but Cirizel has missiles? Okay, AMMs do not... They get seduced by the decoys. One lands, takes out the sun drive. Alright, so Chur is very likely to flip this point.
The enemy is securing zone Comet.
The problem is
The enemy is securing
they need
zone
more than
Dagger.
1 point. Oh, they're flipping D. Ah, yeah, yes. The triple voxels are going to do it. Bongi, oh no. Bongi, get off flank speed. You're burning all your engines. You need to go off flank right now. This is not good. You don't want your engines looking like this. Even though, you know, everyone says to always go on flank. There is a time to turn it off, and that time was about 3 minutes ago. Do they know where the liner is? They don't have this on track. Quiz is just, yep, doing like I said before, playing ring around the rosy, stalling for as much time as possible. I think he might have misplayed. His braking thrusters are dead, and he will drift just in arc and get shot. At least he'll put some damage back. Ooh, that's gonna this is gonna be a very wide peak without braking thrusters. At least he has the two back ones
Zone Dagger.
still online. But let's see who he goes for. He goes for the sprinter. Not a bad call. He could at least kill the sprinter. Bongi electing to just put this thing down with a missile barrage. We'll watch as Quiz's liner likely gets structure broken here. Yup. And CSE is actually out. This is a dead liner, especially when it's still in range of gunfire. Meanwhile, Saw Blob. Does this thing have chaff? Wait, the other one had chaff, right? Oh, this is the one that had chaff. Oh my god. Uh-oh. At least that's what I would be thinking if I was ANS right now, or specifically Chair. That must feel good for Dud. Does Dud have missiles left? 18%. One more, 1.5 more salvos. And it's still not even 500 points, and ANS is down to 5 voxels. Quiz lived? How did Quiz live? He was out of CIC. Oh, I guess this one was repairable. Magazine's still up. 2 guns still up. And drive, and yeah, he's still combat capable. Alright, so Bongi splits one voxel. Bongi just... Oh, you're losing out. I feel like this is losing out on speed. 0% main thrusters. Yeah, you're gonna start, like, look at the bleed speed here. Just go off, and you just gotta go on normal, normal speed. Alright, there we go. So one of the thrusters gets turned back on because you have a dude repairing it. This one should get turned back on as the speed recovers. But yeah, just, you know, you want to keep your thrusters not red like this. And that's the case with all the voxels right now. Yeah, there's not a lot of DC teams. That would be why they're red in the first place.
The enemy secured zone combat.
But Bongi should be able to get to E in, at some point. 37 meters a second for a whip raider. Feels bad. And there's nothing denying E, so they could do it. Alright. B gets flipped. Where's B? Oh, over here. Yeah. Nothing to deny that. Good move by Quiz. Recognizing that. Are any of the DDs still alive? There's still one. And I think Surazal is moving this in place to challenge E. I guess they don't know what's on E. It's only a shuttle holding it. But sending a voxel and DD there is unfortunate. That's a big overcommitment of assets. But that's assuming they don't know what's on it. We can see what they have, what's on it, but they don't know. Alright, A gets flipped from Chair's last remaining voxel. Not a bad idea. What is this heading control? Where's she angled? Who's she bow tanking? There is no heading control. Alright, Lobster is tracked. They know... Okay, they know this is here. Oh, alright. Saw onto Bongi. Which one has the Don't tell me they all lost their VLS. Oh my gosh. Oh, this one has a VLS. Uh-oh. Is it? I don't think that gets pulled. Oh no. Dud is feeling real good right now. Why am I at 3 FPS? Why am I at 3 FPS? Okay, now we're back up. That was weird. Was it the missiles? Anyway, at least for ANS, Dud is out of S2s. But yeah, that's not a lot of assets left on ANS to really do much. Chair's down to, I guess they have 4 voxels now and 1 beam DD versus 3 liners. Then these tugs are armed with 250, so they are still dangerous. They are now taking RPF fire. And ANS has a very big cap deficit here. Lobster will stop the E-cap. Yes, indeed, they will. 450 liner versus a single voxel while locked at 3.5 kilometers. Yep, that goes in favor of the of the liner. This will be dead. This voxel's dead.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
I thought Surzo was moving this. I thought like 5 minutes ago I saw this DD moving for E, and it's still here. Anyway, the DD could have swung the fight, but it might be a little late right now. All right, Lobster. Or no, this is Iris. This beam DD is dead. I think Iris is hunting down Surazol's last voxel here. won't die anytime soon. Unless it hits the reactor. Iris probably should switch targets. You don't need to shoot this beam DD. It's really messed up right now. You can tell because
The enemy
you know,
secured
the
zone
engines
Voxel.
are off. The beam is dead. Everything's smoking. Your main gun should probably focus on the voxel that's shooting you. Okay, they like to go for A, which yeah, I guess that is closer. The Vox is indeed losing. I think. All right. Dud just needs to split these shuttles. Oh my gosh, he's still jamming them. Dud needs to just split the shuttles. He's completely burned them out. The jammers aren't really that worth it anymore. Yeah, just send one shuttle over to D. They should know that there's nothing guarding it. Like they killed so many of Vanna's assets at this point. Split the formation. Split your E-War off. You don't need this late in the game. Ships are dead or out of way out of radar panels at this point. Oh, this thing has all its missiles. Going onto Iris? No. They lost sight. Radars are off. Why is your radar off? Why is your radar off? The reactor? Oh. Oh my gosh.
Actual tragedy.
That hurts. 3 seconds too late. With that, OSB. Wait, what? What the hell was that?
Command Guidance Gaming.
They got what? Alright, cool. I'd like to see that one on replay again. Alright.
The enemy is securing
One
zone
missile.
Atlas.
Is this the Heck V one? Yeah, that's a Heck V one. What? What is happening? That was locked. Antenna's still up. Was there a warbler? There is a warbler. It missed. I'm surprised it did miss. Those are tuned typically to punch through a warbler. Weird. Let's see. Bongi's very dead voxel gonna death contest D. That would stop the. Actually, is this thing still armed? No, it's not. This. Well, wait. Jammers don't count as armed anymore, do they? So this won't be able to cap it. That will need to divert one of his C-53 tugs to get it. Oh, that's very funny. Getting killed by tugs like this. This feels very bad. Oh yeah. So that fight on E. The voxel never fully died, but this beam DD did indeed swing the fight. We can even do a little. Yeah, you can see the autopsy, the beam aim burn points here. So this thing is very much dead from the beam. Very good, well done.
Is securing zone Eclipse.
E gets flipped. C will likely remain in OSB's control forever. A won't get flipped anytime soon. So the game is going to come down to D point. And okay, so they're putting a voxel on B. Quiz can't cap that. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to D point here. And I think in just a few more moments, ANS will need a 4 cap to win. Sure, Bongi's second voxel dying, or is this their last one? Yeah, this is their last one. Okay. So basically, the last combat asset for ANS is this voxel on B and this DD. Let's see. They know that this Beam DD is still alive. For OSP knows this Beam DD is still alive, so they have to respect that. I think Lobster is hunting it right now. They know it's down there somewhere. This could be this one could just be there flying for it to flush it out. Not a bad idea. Send the shuttle in first. Alright, at this point, Dud should realize that he can't cap D with his Bellbird, but a tug would be able to do it. Dud, send a tug over. Need something armed. What are they shooting at? Oh, this just died. Yeah, Eeyore doesn't count as armed anymore, and there's no arming missiles, so... Oh. That's funny. Yeah, Dud hasn't played in a long time. I don't remember when that change took place, but yeah, at one point, Eeyore, like Bellbirds and Illuminators counted as being armed, and now they don't.
That was around carrier update, no?
No, it was a little bit after, I think. Well, let's see. Where's Surreal taking this beam DD? Going for 8 points? Probably to beam Iris here? I don't think... Oh, this beam DD is looking not healthy. This Voxel is still technically armed. You got a magazine. No radar. Two MK64s might be able to kill this shuttle, though. I think Lobster also needs to pull their sensor assets in at this point in the game. It's time where everything just gets shoved onto point. And I think at this point, Dud has realized that he can't cap D, so he's bringing his Tug Blob over. And that should be it for this Voxel soon, in maybe like 3 minutes. Lobster rotating off E. Yeah. Do they think that something's approaching C at this point? I mean, they don't know how many sprinters ANS has, so... But there is already a fully healthy armed 250 tug here. Should be fine. I think, yeah, I think Lobster needs to be hunting that DD. Alright. And I think that, I mean, regardless of what happens there, I think this, right here, this point on D, ends the game.
The enemy is securing zone Eclipse.
What? Oh, the magazine got red. That's funny. Could have repaired that, but yeah, it's game over. Getting 3 capped at that point. ANS needed a 4. All right, take a look at the battle report. Let's see. Surzo, this is the one that face-checked Dud's Tug Blob. Holy cow. Eliminated at 4 minutes in the game. Very unfortunate finding out that there's a Saw Tug Blob that way. Yeah, a lot of these beam DDs died. One of them died only dealing 500 damage. 1,000 damage on this one. Chair doing quite a bit of damage here. 27,000? No, 33,000 ish.
GG's.
Yep, GG's. Let's see, Dudler doing a lot of damage, probably 40,000 ish. Iris, 20,000, 22,000 off the one of the liners, very good. 7,000 because this one died, I think, to a beam. Lobster, 22,000 off that, 10,000 on this, very good. Where was the hero shuttle? Was this it? Yeah, this is the hero shuttle that killed the Sea Capper and killed the Beam TT. This one really put ANS into a bind. Yeah, that was a very fun game to watch. GG's.